Welcome, I'm Ava J, and this is Bookish Pixie. So last week I answered questions about Beyond the Red in part 1 of a 2-part vlog series, and this week I'm answering all the questions about the writing and publication process behind it. There are a lot of questions, so let's get started. What can you tell us about the writing/submitting/editing process behind Beyond the Red? This is actually a combination of a bunch of questions, so I'm just going to run through my timeline. I started writing Beyond the Red on May 22nd, 2013. I'm not really sure when I started plotting and writing ideas down because I don't really keep track of that, but it was a few weeks before that. I fast draft, so I finished the first draft on June 14th, which at the time was a record for me. I then spent the rest of my summer editing and revising and training with critique partners and editing and revising until I sent my first batch of query letters on September 6th. Then after many months of rejections and just a couple requests, I got an email from my now agent asking to set up the call, which weirdly enough was exactly 3 months after I sent the first batch of query letters. We revised the book for several months, a lot of revisions, and then we went on submission in June 2014. 4 months later, Sky Pony Press bought Beyond the Red in October. Yay! So from May 22nd, 2013 to October 2014, it took about a year and a half. If you're interested in more details, I actually have a vlog just about that story, and so I'll link to that below. How many rejections did you receive before you found your agent? If you just count that querying round, 21. But that wasn't my first time querying. In fact, it was actually my 6th time querying, so if you count the other 5 times I tried to get an agent, a lot. Why this genre? I love young adult and I love sci-fi and fantasy and spec fic really in general, so yeah. I was really inspired though by Across the Universe by Beth Revis, because it was that book that made me realize that not only do I like YA sci-fi, but I also really like dual point of view novels. What research did you do while writing Beyond the Red? I can't say all of the research because it's kind of spoilery, but I can talk about some research. I researched desert cultures and what modern day nomads do as far as travel and packing goes. I researched desert temperatures and weather. I researched world religions while putting together the religion and ceremonies, etc. for the Sephiron. I researched different clothing and dance styles. And I watched a ton of videos on fire dancing. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Did you prefer drafting or editing your book? Drafting was really fun with this one because it flowed really well, which is why I got it done in 3 weeks, which as I said was a record for me, but it really came together in revisions. What has been your favorite part of the process so far? Watching my book cover develop was really awesome, and I also got to design my swag and get it printed recently, so all my pretties are here. So that's been pretty awesome. What was your favorite part to write / what do you think everyone's favorite scene will be? I frequently mention that my book has kissing and explosions because they were really fun to write. So those were all my favorites. There was one scene in particular that was like my #1 favorite thing to write and edit, but I don't want to spoil it, and I think you'll know it when you see it. Is it first person or third person narration? Beyond the Red is written in a dual first person point of view. How did you decide on the point of view? I love first person point of view and the narration came to me naturally that way, so that was easy. I also knew Cora and Eros's point of views were essential to the story, so I knew from the start that I'd be writing from both of their perspectives. What was the cover process like? It started with me sharing a mood board with my editor as well as examples of other covers that I liked. I have my mood board on Pinterest, so I'll link to that below if you're curious. And then the first comp came in, yay, which was really exciting, and I got to see what they had in mind for the book cover. I gave some suggestions, they did a bunch of tweaks, and then the final cover was decided. Do you have any advice for someone who is struggling with powering through seemingly countless revisions and getting to the end of her novel? Honestly, the only advice I have is keep going. Writing is really hard, or revisions are really hard, and I totally get that feeling of thinking it's never going to end, but all you can do is keep going. And finally, if you weren't a writer, what else could you see yourself doing? This is actually really easy for me to answer because I went to school for 3 years for film-related degrees, so I would definitely be in the film industry. So that's all I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.